Hello and welcome to Bash is Magic. No, it's not. An introduction to the command line for Mac OS and Linux. This is part one. What is this magic you speak of? In computer science, when confronted with a new idea, sometimes it seems downright magical. You can watch someone type a few commands, and based on those commands, magical things happen. But like all magic, for the uninitiated, it can seem very scary. For instance, this Wizards of the Coast Magic the Gathering card is a very good card, but for those who don't know how to play the game, all they see is something that looks a little terrifying. And when people don't fully understand what's going on, they tend to get a little scared, which is understandable, especially in a world where we spend a lot of time on our computers. And our computers took a long time to set up, a long time to manually configure, especially if you're a developer. And we hear stories of people doing things with a command line that, well, cause catastrophic failure. Now, in this particular instance, this was a made up hoax, but the premise it was based on is very real, that some errors when running a computer program caused the entire system to simply go away. However, if you take the advice of my friends out there in the world who have embraced the command line, just don't be afraid of it. And I realize today, sitting here, just saying don't be afraid of it makes it no less scary than if I were to throw a snake in your lap and say just don't be afraid of it. If you are watching this on a computer, you have more computing power at your fingertips than any humans ever before in history. You have thousands of times more processing power than the Apollo moon missions had. The real reason I think it's important to learn the command line is because using a computer, most of the time we're behind a graphical user interface or a GUI. And there's nothing wrong with that, but a GUI was designed by a developer to do 80% of what the average user would like to do. Is also slow. Also, we'd like to avoid repeating ourselves. Often we find ourselves doing the same thing over and over and over again, and this violates one of the fundamental principles of computer science, the DRY principle. Don't repeat yourself. The command line offers a path to easily automate pretty much anything you can think of. And finally, one of the most powerful things we can do as computer users is give scripts to our computers the same way a director would give a script to his actors and production crew to create some marvelous things and automate those things happening time and time again. Hey, thanks for watching. In part two, we're going to examine the history of computing a little bit, find out where some of these concepts around Bash came from in the first place.